Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make jerk salmon with pineapple salsa. I am pairing mine with some brown rice and some green beans on the side, but you can feel free to pair it with if you have white rice or if you have mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes. Child, it's good with some sweet potatoes, okay? So, but I'm doing mine with brown rice and green beans. So what we're going to start out with today first is I'm going to show you how to make the jerk seasoning. It's a lot of seasoning, y'all. So if you don't have these seasonings, at home, that's fine. You can buy the jerk seasoning that already comes together. It tastes just the same. It's just as good. You don't have to make it like I'm about to, but if you want to, this is how you do it. All right. Y'all ready? It's a lot. Okay, and I'm going to put it in, I'm going to mix it in a airtight container because it's more than what I'm going to use. So that way, if I want to use it later, it's nice and safe in my container here. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. 2.5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, yes, a tablespoon of onion powder, we're going to do a tablespoon of allspice. I got badia. I wish I had some music playing. And then a tablespoon of ground ginger. A tablespoon of thyme. It smells good. Okay, dry thyme. Dry thyme works best for this. Let's see. Ooh, wait, I'm skipping. A tablespoon of paprika. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Okay, what'd I say? A tablespoon of paprika. That's where I left off, right? A tablespoon of chili powder. Where's my cinnamon? This it? Here we go. A half of a tablespoon of cinnamon. Half a tablespoon of nutmeg. Did I say chili? I don't think I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because it's in there. I see it. And, oh, I like mine to be a little spicy. So I add a half a tablespoon of red pepper flakes and a teaspoon of pepper. Beautiful. Okay, so I have my salmon. But when you get your salmon, because sometimes it will still have bones in it, you just want to make sure that you run your finger across the top to make sure that you don't feel any bones. If you do feel a bone, the best way to get it out is with some tweezers. They have fish tweezers, but if you don't have those, I would say, you can get some special tweezers from the dollar store. and just have them specially for your fish and put them to the side. That's what I would suggest. Okay, so I'm just going to take the jerk rub that I made and make a nice coating over the top of the salmon, kind of like a crust. Here we go. And then I'm going to put the salmon to the side just for a few minutes until it's ready to be pan seared. What you want to do is make sure you put it to the side so that way it allows, it's not so cold. It gets room temperature. So when you put it in the pan, it'll get a nice crispy sear on the skin and on the bottom of it. Because if it's too cold and you put it in the hot pan, it's going to change the temperature of the pan. Then it's not going to get as crispy as you like it. So let it sit and rest for a few minutes before we put it in the pan. While we do that, we're going to make the salsa, which is really easy. Okay, give me a bowl. For the salsa, we're going to use pineapple, red peppers, onions, ooh, there we go, some cilantro, salt, pepper, and lime. Now, for your pineapple, to pick a good pineapple, one, you want to make sure that the bottom of it is nice and like it has like a golden, orangey color to it. When you smell it, it should smell nice and sweet. And then if you pull one of these here things out, one of the leaves, you pull one of the leaves out, there we go. It should be a little hard to pull out. If it pulls out too quickly, then the pineapple is on its way to be bad. So you're going to twist the stem to twist the top off. Yeah? And if you want to save this, if you plan on using it for decoration or something, save it. Okay. This is how you cut it. You're going to cut the top. Cut the bottom. Discard these. You're going to stand it up on the top and then slice it down the middle. And we're going to cut it in quarters. Okay, we're going to cut it in quarters. Now, I'm only going to use about a quarter of this pineapple. Cut the core off. And then take it and cut off the skin like that. No, I don't want to do it that way. And you want to cut about a quarter of an inch slice. If you don't want to buy a whole pineapple to make this recipe, you can buy a can of pineapple. Oh, I just dropped pineapple goodness on the floor. Man. Okay. Then we're going to take these and dice them into little small pieces. cut them in strips. And then cut them in chunks. So you want to take the piece that you cut here and then slice it into strips, and then take those strips and cut them into little dices. And we're just going to keep doing that until this quarter piece of pineapple is all chopped up. My rice is almost done. Oh, if you notice, I have a wooden spoon on top of my rice. That's to avoid it spilling over. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning of the video, but it was pretty much bubbling. And if that wooden spoon wasn't there, all of that would have been on the stovetop. And you want to put the wooden spoon on top of the pot when you first start it. If you try to put it on there once it starts boiling over, it's not gonna do you any good, unfortunately. Okay. So, all right. So we got the pineapple all nice and chopped up. Then we're going to dice some red pepper. And for this you want to use half of a red pepper. There we go. On my side. Okay. All right. We got the red pepper. Onion is up next. Dice the onion up nice and fine. I'm using white onion right now, or the sweet Vidalia onion, but you can also use red onion for this as well. If you want to be fancy, or if you want it to be a little spicy, feel free to add some jalapeno peppers to this also. So I'm going to take some cilantro. And then I'm going to dice this up nice and fine. Be careful with your fingers. And curl them a little bit so you don't chop your fingers off. Cilantro, if you have a little bit of the stems in there, it's fine. Just make sure you cut them up nicely. All right. Move this out the way. So we seasoned it with salt and pepper, and then we're going to put the juice for about half of a lime. If you don't have a real lime, you can use the real lime juice like I just did. And it's just fine and dandy. And then we're just going to mix this up, cover it, and put it to the side while we wait for our salmon to be ready. And there you go. That's your pineapple salsa. Oh, it smells amazing. It really does. You'll smell it when you make it yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. The sweetness of the pineapple, the cilantro, the onion. So we're going to cover this and put it to the side. I'm going to leave it out room temp. I'm not going to put it in the fridge right now because I'm about to use it very soon. If you want to do this in advance, I would advise that. But I'm going to leave it room temp so that way all the juices will come out. There we go. Okay, see? Got my bowl. And I can just wipe this up. So I'm cleaning and disinfecting all at the same time. Hey! We ready for the start of the show now. Y'all ready? Okay, it's real simple, guys. We're gonna do a tablespoon. You wanna get your pan, a nice non-stick heavy bottom pan. Okay? You're gonna do a tablespoon of olive oil. Right? Where's my spoon? Here we go. And then you're also gonna do a tablespoon of butter. Why? Because butter makes everything better. And plus it just also helps with the flavor. So we're gonna get this nice, let this melt a little bit, and let our pot get hot. All right? Then we're gonna add the salmon to it. Now, remember I told you at the beginning that I would let the salmon sit and get room temp a little bit before I add it to the pan, because if it's cold, then it's going to change the temperature of the pan and it's not going to give you that nice crispy skin that you want. Nobody likes their salmon skin to be all mushy and stuff. If you don't like the skin, you could always take it off. I like the skin, but I like my skin crispy how it's supposed to be. So if you want to get it crispy, this is how you do it. Oh yes. You can smell the butter. Yes, Lord. It's going to smell good. It's going to taste so good. All right. So I'm going to let this get just a little hot. You want the fire to be on medium high. Okay? A nice non-stick pan so your salmon don't get stuck in there. I'm going to add the piece of salmon. Ooh, yes. Okay. Now, I'm using wild-caught salmon. I wrote a little ditty on the differences between wild-caught salmon and farm-raised salmon. Feel free to look on my Instagram page or my Facebook page and catch up on it. But basically, wild-caught salmon is better. It has more omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. It's leaner than farm-raised salmon. It tastes better than farm-raised salmon. And if you're in the store, you can tell the difference between the farm-raised and the wild-caught by the color. Wild-caught salmon is a little darker. And here's a little party combo for you. The reason why salmon is pink is not because it's inherently pink. It's pink because of its diet, because salmon typically eats crustaceans and shrimp. So it turns pink because of the diet that it has. So salmon is the epitome of you are what you eat. So make sure y'all keep that little bit of information in your back pocket so you can tell your friends at the dinner party or whoever you're cooking for, and then you seem all nice and smart and stuff, like you know what you're talking. See there? So what I'm doing is I'm basting the salmon as it's cooking with the butter and oil. This does two things. It flavors it throughout, and it also helps to cook the top of the salmon. Now, if you cook this on the stove top, it's not going to take long. It's only going to take about 4 or 5 minutes to cook. If you don't want to cook it on the stove, if you want to save on the calories, you don't want to use the oil or the butter, you can cook it in the oven. Just put it on a nice cookie sheet, spray it with some non-cooking spray. I mean, the cooking spray, the cooking spray, sorry. And put the oven on 300 and cook it for about 20 minutes. And then there you go. Nice and done. So I'm going to get my plate ready. I'm having this with brown rice. Now, I don't know if you noticed. Come on now. There we go. But I had a I had a wooden spoon. Let me turn this down a little bit. I had a wooden spoon on top of my brown rice because when I cook it, I don't want the water to overflow. Put the green beans on the side. Baste it just one more time because our salmon is nice and done. You know it's done because it firms up. It's nice and firm. So I put the rice, and I got my green beans, and then I have my salmon here, right? Then I'm gonna take my salsa that I made earlier and just put it right on top. Okay, that's it. What's done? It's time to eat. Okay, now, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Listen, the salmon is perfectly cooked. The skin. Do you hear the crispy? Let me cut it again. Can you hear the crispy? You probably can't hear it from over there. But I promise you, I almost dropped it. Okay. It's absolutely amazing, guys. Listen, the sweetness from the pineapple, the little hint of onion, the cilantro, chop. Listen. And then it's nice and summery. It goes with the season. The green beans is delicious. Although I didn't show y'all how to make those, so I'm gonna stop talking about them. And that's it. I'm going to stop eating because I really want to sit down and enjoy my meal. I really hope that you enjoy this as much as I do. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at chefmichellefoster@gmail.com. Follow me online at Chef Michelle Foster. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. But follow me online. I have all these fun classes that I do. I share information. You can find out how you can get some food from me. Okay? And that's it. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.